Let us begin with a moment of privacy. A moment that happens to almost all of us, usually in the quiet solitude of the bathroom under the harsh fluorescent lights. We look in the mirror. We see the face that stares back. It is familiar yet strangely foreign. We see the lines forming around the eyes. We see the specific arrangement of features that the world recognizes as us. We see the mask. But if we stare long enough, if we gaze into our own pupils, those black holes in the center of the iris, a strange sensation takes over. A vertigo, a feeling of falling. And a question rises from the depths of our being, a question that haunts us when the distractions of the day fall away. Who is this who is looking out from behind these eyes? Am I just a biological machine? Am I just a brain secreting thoughts like a liver secretes bile? Or is there something else, something vast, looking through me? We live in a culture that tells us we are small. From the time we are children in the American school system, we are taught the ceramic model of the universe. We are taught that we are separate entities. We are taught that we came into this world like strangers walking into a room. We are taught that the universe is a cold, dead, mechanical place, a chaotic explosion of rocks and gas, and we are lucky, lonely flukes of biology. We are taught that we are flashes of consciousness between two eternal darknesses. We feel insignificant. We feel like tiny egos enclosed in bags of skin fighting for survival against a hostile environment. We feel alone. We feel like orphans of the cosmos. But I am here to tell you the secret that the mystics, the poets, and the quantum physicists have been whispering for thousands of years. It is the secret that explains why you feel so tired of pretending. It is the secret that explains why deep down, despite all evidence to the contrary, you feel immortal. You are not a stranger in this world. You did not come into this world. You came out of this world. You grew out of this universe in exactly the same way an apple grows out of an apple tree. You are not a separate observer of the cosmos. You are the cosmos. You are the universe behaving as a human for a little while. And if we follow this thread to its ultimate logical and terrifying conclusion, we arrive at the truth. You are God in disguise. Now, before the rational mind rejects this, let's redefine what we mean by God. We are not talking about a king in the sky. We are not talking about the old man with a white beard who sits on a throne checking your credit score, judging your search history, and deciding if you deserve a parking spot. That is a primitive political image of God. That is a boss. We are talking about the ultimate reality, the ground of being, the source, the energy that spins the galaxies, ignites the stars, grows the forests, and beats your heart. We are talking about the one consciousness that permeates all things. There is only one consciousness in the universe. It just has billions of different faces. It is wearing the mask of a tree. It is wearing the mask of a cat. It is wearing the mask of a mountain. And right now, in this specific location, at this specific time, it is wearing the mask of you. Let's play a thought experiment. This is the God experiment. Imagine you are God. Imagine you are the infinite, eternal, all-knowing consciousness. You have no limits. You can do anything. You can be anything. You exist in a state of absolute bliss, absolute power, and absolute perfection forever. Now be honest with yourself. If you had to do that for eternity, wouldn't you eventually get bored if you knew the outcome of every game before you played it? Would the game be fun if you knew the punchline of every joke before it was told? Would you laugh? If you knew exactly how every movie would end, would you watch it? If you could have every desire satisfied the moment you thought of it, would you have any desire left? Perfection without contrast is boring. Omniscience is a trap. Total safety is a prison. So what would you do to cure the boredom of eternity, to escape the prison of knowing everything? You would invent a game. You would invent a way to surprise yourself. You would say, I am going to fracture myself. I am going to break myself into billions of little pieces. I am going to scatter myself across space and time. And I am going to impose a rule on myself. The rule is voluntary amnesia. You would decide to forget who you really are. You would pretend with total commitment that you are not God. You would pretend you are immortal. You would pretend you are fragile. You would pretend you are a stressed-out accountant in Chicago or a lonely artist in Brooklyn or a single mother in Texas. You would design a life with challenges, with heartbreak, with struggle, and with fear. Why would you choose fear? Why would you choose pain? Because you wanted the thrill. You wanted the adventure. You wanted to feel things. You cannot know the ecstasy of being found unless you have first been completely lost. You cannot know the warmth of love unless you have felt the cold of isolation. You cannot know the relief of safety unless you have felt the adrenaline of danger. You are playing the ultimate game of hide and seek with yourself. You are hiding in the form of a human, waiting to see how long it takes for you to wake up and remember. This is the concept of Leela in Hindu philosophy, the divine play. The universe is not a courtroom. It is a stage. And you are the lead actor. But you are also the director, and you are also the audience, and you are also the stage itself. The reason you suffer, the reason you feel anxiety, stress, and grief is because you are such a good actor. You are the ultimate method actor. You have gotten so lost in the role that you think the blood on the stage is real. You think the tragedy is permanent. You think the character is you. You have forgotten that when the curtain falls, you get to stand up, wipe off the makeup bow to the audience, and go home to the castle. Your anxiety proves how committed you are to the bit. You wanted it to feel real. And my God, it feels real, doesn't it? It feels incredibly painfully real. Let's look at our obsession with being the main character. In American culture, we talk a lot about main character energy. We want to be special. We want to be significant. We are terrified of being NPCs, non-player characters. We want the spotlight. But the cosmic joke is this. Everyone is the main character, because there is only one character. When you look into the eyes of another person, your partner, your boss, the homeless man on the street, the political enemy you despise, you are looking at yourself. You are looking at God wearing a different costume. You are looking at the same consciousness viewing the world from a different coordinate. The person you love, that is God giving you a hug. The person you hate, that is God pushing your buttons to wake you up. The person who cut you off in traffic, that is God playing the role of an annoyance to test your patience. When you realize this, the feeling of loneliness dissolves. How can you be lonely when you are everything? How can you be lonely when every conversation you have is a monologue? You are the universe talking to itself, playing with itself, dancing with itself. This shifts everything about how we live. If you know you are God in disguise, you stop being so desperate for approval. Why would God need a promotion to feel worthy? Why would the universe need 10,000 likes on Instagram to feel valid? Why would the source of all creation worry about whether their outfit is trendy? You realize that your worth is intrinsic. It is built in. It is not something you earn. It is something you are. You don't need to become somebody. You already are everything. The American obsession with self-improvement is a funny trap. Who is the self that needs improving and who is the one doing the improving? It is the same person, it is. God trying to fix God. It is the ocean trying to wet itself. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to know yourself. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Let's talk about the physical evidence. Let's look at the science for the skeptics among us. We know through astrophysics that every atom in your body was forged in the center of a dying star. The carbon in your muscles, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the gold in your filling, it is all stardust. Billions of years ago, a star exploded. It died so that you could live. You are literally made of the debris of the cosmos. You are the galaxy taking the shape of a human. When you look at the night sky, you are not looking at the universe. You are the universe looking at itself. You are the aperture through which the cosmos perceives its own glory. Without you, the universe would be invisible. You are the witness that makes it real. And quantum physics tells us an even stranger story. It tells us that at the subatomic level, everything is energy. There is no solid matter. If you zoom in close enough, there are no things. There is only a field of vibration, a field of potential. You are a localized vibration of this infinite field. You are a wave in the ocean of energy. The wave looks separate. It has a height, a shape, a location. It has a beginning and an end. It has a name. But can you take the wave out of the ocean? Can you put the wave in a bucket and carry it home? No. The wave is the ocean waving. You are the universe peopling. Your separation is an optical illusion. It is a trick of the light. So why do we feel so small? Why do we feel so afraid? Because of the ego. The ego is the mask. The word person comes from the Latin word persona, which literally means mask, worn by actors in ancient Greek theater. The mask had a megaphone built in so the voice could project. The ego is the idea that you are a separate, isolated entity named your name, born on your birthday with your social security number. It is a hallucination. It is a useful hallucination. It helps you organize your life, pay your taxes, remember your address, and not bump into walls, but it is not you. The ego is a contraction. It is a knot in the field of consciousness. We spend our entire lives defending the ego. We build walls around it. We attack anyone who insults it. We try to make it permanent. We try to make the wave last forever, but the ego is designed to die. The mask is designed to be taken off. We are terrified of death because we think it is the end of the show. We think the screen goes black. We think we cease to exist. But death is just the moment the actor takes off the mask. It is the moment the wave crashes back into the ocean. You don't die, you just stop being you and go back to being everything. Alan Watts said it best, death is like the universe taking off a tight shoe. It is a relief. It is a release. It is the ultimate exhale. Imagine the relief. Imagine the laughter when you wake up on the other side and realize you were never in danger. You realize that you were never born and you never died, you just played a game. So how do we live with this knowledge in the modern world? Do we quit our jobs, sell our belongings, and sit on a mountain? No. That's missing the point of the game. You came here to play the game, not to escape it. You chose this level. You chose this difficulty setting. You came here to drink coffee, to fall in love, to build businesses, to write songs, to raise children, to feel the sun on your skin, to feel the texture of life. But now you can do it with a wink. You can do it with a lightness. You can play the game without taking it so seriously. You can be involved but not attached. This is the concept of lucid dreaming. When you are having a nightmare and suddenly you realize it's a dream, what happens? The fear vanishes. The monster is still there, but it can no longer hurt you. You might even decide to fly or change the monster into a puppy. You become powerful because you know the nature of the reality. Spiritual awakening is simply becoming a lucid dreamer in the waking world. You still go to work, you still pay bills, you still deal with traffic, but you don't stress about it with the same heaviness. You don't have the same existential dread. You know that if you lose the job, you are still God. You know that if the relationship ends, you are still the ocean. You have a safety net that is woven into the fabric of existence. You cannot fall out of the universe. This changes how you treat people. It creates a radical compassion. When you see someone who is angry, hateful, or political, you don't hate them back. You see them as God playing a very difficult role. You see them as a child who has forgotten they are playing a game. You think, oh, look at that. God is pretending to be a furious driver on the freeway today. He's really committed to the role. Bravo, what a performance. You stop judging. You start observing. You become the witness. You realize that evil is just part of the drama. It is the shadow that makes the light visible. It is the resistance that allows the muscle to grow. And you stop judging yourself. This is the greatest kindness. If you are God, then your mistakes are part of the divine dance. Your flaws are part of the texture. Your messy life is a work of art. You don't need to be perfect. The ocean is not perfect. It is chaotic, wild, messy, and dangerous. But it is always the ocean. You are allowed to be messy. You are allowed to be human. That is the whole point. You didn't come here to be an angel. Angels are boring. You came here to get your hands dirty in the soil of physical reality. You came here to experience limitation. So here is your assignment. Start looking for the glitches in the matrix. Start looking for the moments where the separation dissolves. When you are listening to music and you get lost in the sound. Where is the ego? It's gone. There is only the music. When you are laughing with a friend, that deep belly laugh, where you forget what time it is. Where is the ego? It's gone. There is only the joy. When you are looking at a sunset and your mind goes silent for just a second. Where is the ego? It's gone. There is only the seeing. Those are the moments when the mask slips. Those are the moments when God peeks through. Those are the moments of remembrance. Stop looking for God in a church. Stop looking for God in a book. Stop looking for God in a guru. Go to the mirror. Look at your hand. Flex your fingers. Marvel at the engineering. Look at the person sitting next to you on the bus. Look at the tree outside your window. It is all one thing. It is all you. We are just the universe playing hide and seek with itself forever and ever. We hide and we seek. We forget and we remember. We sleep and we wake. And right now it is your turn to be it. So play big, play with your whole heart, take risks, love deeply, create beauty. And don't forget to laugh, because at the end of the day, it's just a ride. You are safe. You have always been safe. You will always be safe. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the dreamer and the dream. Wake up.